Breaking Mzansi Insider reports. In a rare and deeply emotional moment, President Cyril Ramaphosa openly expressed the weight of leading a nation grappling with complex challenges. Speaking to the public and political observers alike, Ramaphosa cried out, asserting that he is not the cause of South Africa's pain and declaring his innocence in the face of criticism and mounting pressure. The president's display of vulnerability comes at a time when South Africa faces multiple crises, from economic instability, unemployment, and rising inequality, to social unrest and political tensions. While leaders are often expected to maintain a stoic demeanor, Ramaphosa's emotional plea underscores the human cost of leadership and the immense responsibility carried by those at the helm. During his address, Ramaphosa emphasized that the hardships the country faces are systemic and not the result of any single individual. His words, marked by visible distress, reflected both frustration and a desperate appeal for understanding from a nation eager for solutions yet quick to assign blame. Analysts and citizens alike have taken note of this moment, seeing it as a rare glimpse into the personal toll of governing in a complex and often unforgiving political landscape. The president's proclamation of innocence also raises important questions about accountability and leadership. While critics may continue to scrutinize his administration, Ramaphosa's emotional outburst serves as a reminder that leaders are not immune to the consequences of historical, structural, and social challenges that have long plagued South Africa. His candid admission of pain humanizes him, offering a stark contrast to the polished rhetoric typically associated with political office. Following his emotional declaration, President Cyril Ramaphosa has sparked widespread discussion across South Africa. While some view his tears as a sign of vulnerability and authenticity, others question whether emotion alone is enough to address the pressing issues facing the nation. Political commentators note that his proclamation of innocence highlights a struggle familiar to many leaders, bearing responsibility for problems larger than any one person can solve. In recent months, Ramaphosa has faced scrutiny over economic stagnation, corruption allegations within government structures, and ongoing social unrest. Yet, despite these challenges, he insists that the blame for the nation's hardships cannot be laid solely at his feet. By publicly expressing his pain, he attempts to bridge the gap between political accountability and human empathy, acknowledging both the criticism he faces and the enormity of the national crisis. Citizens reacting to the president's statements are divided. For some, his honesty brings a sense of relief, showing that their leader is not detached from the reality of daily struggles. For others, it raises questions about the effectiveness of leadership and whether visible emotion can translate into decisive action. Analysts suggest that this moment may reshape the public narrative, forcing political opponents and supporters alike to reconsider the personal stakes involved in governance. President Cyril Ramaphosa's emotional declaration has ignited a storm of public reaction across South Africa. Citizens, politicians, and media commentators are weighing in, some expressing sympathy for a leader under immense pressure, while others remain critical, insisting that actions, not emotions, define effective leadership. Social media has been flooded with debates, videos, and messages reflecting the nation's divided sentiment, admiration for his honesty, skepticism over his ability to deliver change, and concern over the country's ongoing crises. Political analysts argue that Ramaphosa's tearful proclamation may mark a pivotal moment in his presidency. By openly acknowledging his personal struggle with the nation's challenges, he humanizes the office of the presidency but also raises expectations for tangible solutions. Many see this as a call to action, not only for the president himself but also for government institutions, civil society, and citizens, to unite in addressing systemic issues that have long hindered South Africa's progress. The broader implication of this moment lies in accountability and leadership perception. Ramaphosa's insistence on his innocence may strengthen his credibility among supporters who view him as unfairly blamed for structural problems. At the same time, critics may interpret his tears as a sign of weakness, intensifying scrutiny on his policies and leadership style. Regardless of interpretation, the episode underscores a key truth: South Africa's challenges are complex, and leadership involves navigating both political pressures and human vulnerability. As the nation moves forward, all eyes will remain on President Ramaphosa. Will his emotional appeal translate into renewed policy focus, effective reforms, and stronger governance? Or will it remain a poignant moment of empathy that fails to quell public frustration? The answer will shape not only his legacy but also the trajectory of South Africa during a time of uncertain